Well, welcome everyone. We're super excited to introduce you to an amazing woman that if you don't know her already, you cannot wait to get to know her. In fact, you're going to be able to see her in person. We'll talk about here in a moment, but I want to welcome you to Miss Elena Cardone. Welcome.
Oh, thank you so much. Thanks for having me. It's
absolutely
awesome to be here.
Well, we are so thrilled to talk with you today and get a little insight about what building an empire means. And first, I just want to say how incredible your team is.
Oh, thank you. We do have an incredible team.
The culture, and it's a demonstration of what you have built through this empire process, just starting with how important people are.
Yes. Well, people make up empires.
Yes.
So it's important to be surrounded by the people who believe in you, believe in your mission. They have their core values aligned with yours. The purposes are similar. We can work with each other to help grow each other, to all benefit in the end. So, the people that aren't on the team, they usually leave pretty quickly, and the people that are on the team stay for many, many, many years. And it's just, it's crucial because we depend on this team to help us. And we're very grateful for the people that are here and all of the work that they do and how much support that they show us and how much they believe in us. And, it really is a special thing to know that you can depend on the people that are in your office every day to have your back and to have the mission,
Yes, it's so good. And I know you can't build an empire overnight. So talk about what that means to you. You have your book. We just attended the most amazing mastermind, Bay Mastermind. If you have not attended one of those, definitely put it on the calendar. It has changed the way that I frame and view things. When we talk about team, when we talk about first leading yourself, so you can be that example. And so your wonderful book here, talk about that building an empire and what it means to you.
Well, for me, building an empire is about creating a mindset that is so big and so abundant in all resources. Not only financial resources, which you will need at some point for an empire, but also honesty, integrity, grit, willingness, dedication, fortitude, purpose. It's about having so much abundance in all of that you can then be able to sustain a hit, an economy collapsing, somebody in the family getting sick, getting laid off from your job, which normal every day. Oh, we're good. Enough is enough. Don't have more. Those are all good concepts, but in reality, they can't endure hits and they usually crumble and fall apart. And that's why I don't like normal, because it gives you the illusion that things are fine until they're not. So the idea behind an empire is to go so big, take such massive action, to expand and have so many people and so many resources that even if you were to fall short of your grandiose big ideas and goals and targets, that you're still going to be so far superior and so far ahead of that normal life that you were comfortable living down here, which is actually an illusion and very dangerous.
Right. You are, and we just came out of crisis. So for many of us,
I'm not sure we're out of it, but I won't be the negative Nelly here.
And you think about, I'm sure that we were able to see, hear, talk to people that this crisis really did impact them, not only mentally, but financially. So it is vital, right, that we all build an empire?
1,000,000%. Now is the time to get your mind right, understand your purpose, your core values, your mission. What are you going to do to set yourself up to be able to sustain hits? How are you going to protect yourself, your family, your community? Now is the time to start taking the actions necessary to self-educate or self-develop yourself, to make yourself strong enough to be willing to support the weight of an empire.
Right. And I know that there was a time in your family life where you guys were taking hits, and it was a defining moment, right? It was like you either sink or swim.
Yes.
And so what was that defining moment that said, we're going to get through this, not only through it, but beyond, and we're going to be that inspiration? I mean, how did you guys get through?
Well, it was in 2008 when the economy collapsed and we had to confront that
Another crisis.
Another crisis that we were poor rich people at the time, because we had this big beautiful home on the top of the hill in the Hollywood Hills of Los Angeles.
Everyone's idea of success.
Everyone's idea of success. We could see downtown to the ocean on a clear day when there was no smog. But, then there was our friends that conned us and put like the biggest lawsuit that we had ever could even have imagined at the time, and the banks wanted their money. All the banks were collapsing in 2008. They wanted liquidity. So they were coming after us for money, for the apartments, for this, for that. And it was just, I was pregnant with my first child. It was just a very stressful time in our life. And it was at the moment where I had to look at, there was no way I was going to bring in a revenue stream that could sustain us.
Right.
Grant had he was closer to the field goal range or the touchdown or whatever football or sports term you want to use, but he was closer to winning than we were, at least financially, to keep us afloat. So I said, at that moment, I was like, I don't care. My only purpose became about surviving and not losing it all. It wasn't about helping other people at that time. I had no other noble cause than being able to keep us afloat and be able to provide for the child that was in my womb.
Yes.
And so that's when I said, I'm trading in this acting career. I'm going to put every single asset that I have, every single strength that I have.
All the chips are in.
All the chips are going in on Grant Cardone, the man that I trust, the man that I'm willing to build an empire with. I was already married to him for 4 years at the time, but this was the first time. You would think it was the moment when you said, I do. No, it took me 4 years later to really commit, even though I thought I was committed.
Yeah.
I was monogamous. I thought that's what a marriage was. I didn't realize it's like, no, this is a partnership.
Yes.
And I was willing to put all the voices aside of all the women I was going to betray by becoming supportive to my husband and not being this independent, strong woman, doing it all myself. Like I had to risk all of those thoughts, and I put all the chips on Grant and said, here, I'm willing to run all of this, the behind the scenes operations. You focus on what you need to know and do, and I'll take care of the rest. And we're going to get to this thing called an empire. You're not going to depend only on the car industry, which was the only industry he had at that time. And it was over.
Yeah.
And so you're going to go and figure out how to make this a horizontal move. You're going to go get more businesses aligned. I'm going to support you. And we're going to depend on ourselves and no one else. I'm not going to ever have to depend on a studio head or a director or a producer or anyone else to ever deem me pretty enough, talented enough, smart enough, whatever it is, And we're going to do this thing called Build an Empire. And at the time, it was a ridiculous notion that we could even possibly get to where we dreamed we would want to be.
Yeah.
So many people could have looked at us, and I'm sure they did, and they were probably made their little judgments, and they did. There was no fancy cars and restaurants and big parties, and there was no Chanel or flashy diamonds. It was just we got called fuddy-duddies and when are y'all going to go take vacation and y'all take life too seriously and all you do is work. We had to endure all of that.
Yes.
But we realized at that time we were in what's called sacrifice phase for the big picture. So we were willing to pay the price then, so we can now pay any price we want to do whatever we want. And it paid off. It paid off.
And all of the people, including myself, my family, those that work with us, do life with us, that we get to inspire, are a living, breathing demonstration of what you have created. That mindset, like that deciding factor that said, fight or flight, we're fighting. We're pushing forward.
We're doing it.
And now it's just unbelievable. And the ripple effect of what that's created. When did your business acumen or that mindset start in you that if it's going to be, it's up to me? Was that at an early age?
No, business-wise, I didn't know anything about business. I was an artist. I was an actress. I observe people. I act. I understand that world. I didn't understand anything financially, money-wise. I did everything Grant tells you not to do when I first came into money. Which which was, I'm talking six figures here.
Sure.
But I mean, a girl from New Orleans, my mom made six figures.
Yeah.
Like if I made more than her, I was like, wow, I remember the first year I made $120,000. I mean, I thought I was rich.
Yeah.
That was a lot of money to me, you know, in my early 20s. And so, you know, so I didn't know about business. I bought a house. I bought all these cars. I would treat everyone to drinks and dinner like I thought I was highfalutin.
It's on me.
It's on me. And then, you know, when USA High was a show I did, we did 95 episodes. It aired worldwide. It played 6 days a week. When that show ended, it was like all the funds ended too. So Grant is the one that taught me everything I know about money, everything I know about business. I'm like, where were you? I might have had something. I might have had my own little nest egg had I had you in my life to be a mentor to me in my early 20s. So I could have maybe had a chance at protecting what little golden egg I had, you know?
All of the 20 plus year olds that you guys are impacting. So that was your sacrifice, but now fast forward, all of the people that you're able to impact and lessons learned, right?
That's right. I want all the young people and not young, doesn't matter, but all of the people to at least have the data that I didn't have. So you don't have to make the mistakes so that you can actually grow wealth.
Right. That's so good. And you are going to be speaking to primarily women business owners that maybe had a hobby. They maybe had a desire to start something and then it started growing. Now they maybe didn't go to business school. They didn't learn how to run a team. They didn't learn finances and sales and marketing. Would you say that the advice to them is to plug in to people, you know, having a mentor? I mean, where did they learn? How did they grow to a bigger mindset? What's the difference of small thinking, average thinking to now really pushing out, breaking the barriers?
Well, so the key is you can't take your advice from people who don't have what you want. So a lot of times people listen to their mother, their father, their sister, their friends, but they're not the ones, as much as you love them, to give you advice. They're not qualified. They're not living their chances are. Now, if your uncle's Warren Buffett, you might want to listen to him. But, you know, chances are they're not the ones. And these are the people that are keeping your mindset small. So find the person. You know, for me, I'm Grant's biggest advocate. I'm his #1 fan. I happen to know that what he teaches, if you apply it, it will change your life.
Yes.
So find somebody that has everything you want. Find what is it that you want. Be clear on that. And then find and study what they're doing. Find who they study and look at the moves that they're doing. If you want, you know, and then find out where they're at in their cycle. You know, like someone who's a millionaire is going to be completely giving different advice than, let's say, a Grant Cardone, because now they've made $1 million. Now I guarantee you they're scared. They're scared to lose it. They're scared to let it go. They're scared to invest it and whatnot. So you have to be smart. Pick your one person and study them and go deep on that one person and not get confused by opening the door to everybody and all these ideas, especially with all the self-proclaimed experts that are out there on social media. But I'll just tell you the 3 basic things, and it's the only thing that I believe a person needs to know about money, and it's what Grant Cardone taught me. The first thing you need to know is how to earn it. Most people know how to do that. Then you need to know how to store it, which is a little different from saving, because it's not saving for a rainy day. It's storing it until you find or get the right amount to then invest in an income producing asset. We believe real estate is the income producing asset. Why? We have a $2.4 billion multifamily real estate portfolio assets under management is because we use our earned income. Either it goes back into the business to generate more earned income, or once the overflow from that goes into the storage pile. And from the storage pile, it goes into the assets, the multifamily units, 300, 500, whatever it is at the time. Then that money from month 1 is an inflow, cash flowing asset that then spits off money. And that's the money that we live off of. That's the money that buys for the plane, the helicopter, the Chanel, all the things that, you know, we have now. It does not come from earned income.
Yes.
So if you really want to understand wealth and you want wealth, you need to understand that you will not create wealth from earned income. You have to have your money go to work for you. Your money needs to make babies. So this needs to be going on whether you're working or not in order to really generate wealth.
Right.
Which I know your audience is way more sophisticated than me in that area. But that's just the basic 101 that I've learned from Grant. And that's how we continue to operate our business. Everything earned, we then take it and we go broke. You know, we store it.
Go to zero.
And then we put it in there and then we're broke again. So somebody comes to me and needs money alone. I'm sorry, I don't have it. You know, it's just not there.
Right.
And then it gets to re-earn to store and then hurry up and it gets put into that asset that's never going to, that hasn't depreciated in value in 50 years.
Yes.
Apartments has only gone up. Rents have only gone up. So that's where we're comfortable placing our income producing cash flow.
Yes, and so good. And you guys have been mentors. If you're not following the weekly shows, not following G&E, if you have not read the book, if you have not come to a mastermind, then you are missing out because you guys are mentors, right? You are our mentors, even from the distance. And I love that I can keep listening. I can keep listening and I'm at a different place. So that's the beauty of having that mentorship in your life. And I can't wait. And I know that we have GrowthCon coming up.
March 12th, 13th, and 14th here in Miami at the Turnberry.
Yes.
I can't wait.
We have our ticket. We're in the room. I
so
cannot wait.
Yes, me too. It's going to be amazing.
You guys always start off with a power, a power start. The girls, you guys love to just incorporate your beautiful girls, and they were here at the mastermind as well, being able to share, what do you want to see in them when they grow up?
Well, I want to see my children be competent and have confidence. And I want to see them making a difference for the better on this planet and becoming an asset to society. So if they do that, then I know that my job as a mother, my role was fulfilled. Clearly, I mean, who doesn't want their child to be happy? But if they're a contributing member of society, making a difference for the better, then, you know, wow, then it's just, there's just a ripple effect of good, you know, from them and from us. And that's what I want to leave on this planet is like, wow, we made a difference. We altered the trajectory of somebody's life for the better. And then they do the same. And then it's like the contagion of goodness, you know, and I know it's not always easy, but you know, in life, but that's where I want our legacy to be.
Yes. And they don't have to graduate from high school or college to start the journey. You already have them integrated. You're already allowing them to give back. And I think that's just that living, breathing demonstration. Not only your team that you have around you that's helping support and by, you know, the commitment to the vision and the call and the cause, but your family. You are that living, breathing. So I can't wait to have you at our summit and just to pour in to all of those, whether they're women business owners, they're realtors, they are maybe the husbands that supporting their wives. They are the men also leading. It's just going to be an incredible time. So I can't wait to see you in Dallas.
I can't wait to be in Dallas. I can't wait to meet all of your fabulous audience that you've been raving about. I know it's going to be probably more of an honor for me, but we'll see. We'll see. Hopefully I leave enough takeaways where, you know, I earn my keep at the stage there.
Absolutely. Read the book. If you have not read the book, look on Elena. You can go to ElenaCardone.com to see all of the events that are coming up. I can't wait to plug in even more. You are an inspiration. Thank you for your servanthood. Thank you for giving back and helping us be along on the journey with you.
Awesome. Thank you for that acknowledgement.
We'll see you in Dallas.
See you in Dallas.